Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long Boys 1975. YouTubers on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long Boys 1975.
Hey YouTube, Long Boys Post 1975 and welcome to an unboxing and a system overview. This literally just arrived for me about 20 minutes and it's my SEGA Megadrive Mini 2. Basically, I think it's safe to, I have to say it, every time I get something worth a reasonable amount of money in the post from Amazon, I get so nervous because where I live, on a hill, every house around it has a variation of the word hill in the title, and I've lost count with how many products they've delivered to the wrong houses and how many people out there are incredibly dishonest. However, to be fair, Amazon have always been great about it. So I was sat there watching this in my app on my phone, sweating bullets, with the bracket that was 3 o'clock to 5:45, and then it arrived at 3:30. So can't knock those apples. Amazon can't knock those apples. Pretty sure you're all familiar with this if you're into your retro games and you like your mini consoles. Basically, in 2019, Sega and M2 got together and made the Mega Drive Mini, which is, at least until the PC Engine Mini came out, which was then at least until the Amiga Mini came out, my favourite Mini, because the work that M2 did, not just on the emulation, but the interface was just absolutely fantastic, and the attention to detail on the system was absolutely mind-blowing. The fact that if you wanted to, you could get the stack of power, where you could get a Model 1 Mega CD or Sega CD, dependent upon where you are from, to sit underneath, and you could put a 32X in the top and then a cartridge. They didn't do anything, they were purely aesthetic, and the cartridge flapped open and stuff like that. I mean, I've got an unboxing video of it. Is it literally 3 years? It is 3 years ago. 3 years ago, round about this very day now. Wow, doesn't time fly? Anyway, I love mine. I absolutely loved mine. I've got tons and tons and tons of gameplays on it because I bought off Amazon a True Blue Mini stick for it that increased the game library to, I would say, pretty much 3/4 of the original library. But no Mega CD games, no 32X games. Mega CD games is quite possibly what has made me bite on this. This has no Mega CD games either. But basically, I think it's safe to say, when this was announced, it came out of left field. I want to say no more than 6 months ago. I didn't know it was a thing until I saw a video on Sega Lord X's channel talking about it, and the few games that they revealed at that point, we knew only that it was going to come out in Japan, which is weird because the Mega Drive really wasn't that successful in Japan. So I am curious as to how successful the Mega Drive original Mini was in Japan, and that there was going to be a Genesis release too, but there was no news on a UK release. Now obviously the Mega Drive Model 2 or Genesis Model 2 was released by Sega in 1993 and was an effort to reduce the size and impact of the machine and lower costs, and therefore get some more money out of their, at least in the West, flagship title. But as far as I can tell, it did really suffer from audio problems and issues. I do actually have a Mega Drive Model 2 here, and obviously a UK official power one, which I've got to compare the size, because the first thing I can say about this, all your size jokes, get them out your system. Now, I was not expecting this box to be this small. I know it only includes one pad, but yeah, I was not expecting this box to be this small, especially when you consider how big the original Mini box was. But I guess that's to do with whether or not this console is accurate to the size of the original Mini, which quite frankly, I'm only interested in how it compares to the size of this. But I never really actually noticed any audible issues on this, but then I never had one of these as a kid. This is a console I have as an adult, and I also have a Model 2 Genesis, which again I've never really noticed any audible issues on, but I do the majority of my Mega Drive Drive gaming now. Obviously, I have a ton of Power ones. I have a Japanese one I bought that was the birth of this channel, and I use an Everdrive on that. But unless I bang them side by side, I probably am not going to notice. Anyway, so this came flying out of left field, and everyone was like, wait, Sega's doing a new mini console emulation, again handled by M2. Will be very interesting to see if it sticks to the original formula or there are any updates. I will be taking this in the other room to check it out, because I'd like to think they would try and better what they did on the PC Engine Mini, which is basically hands down the best interface on a mini console I've ever had the luck to use. But yeah, and I did a video round about the time that it was announced called does anyone actually want a Mega Drive Mini 2? Now, before you all jump down my throat, I never said that I wasn't going to get one. I just said, and a lot of people agreed with me, that I think probably better off going the route of a Saturn Mini. I know emulation issues, but personally I think we've moved along enough with that we could have got one. I definitely could have got a Dreamcast Mini, maybe a Master System Mini. Obviously that would have been a piece of piss to emulate. Why are they going this route? Seems a bit odd, but then it's a safe pair of hands, isn't it? It's a safe pair of hands, and it really is a license to print money, especially since it costs more than the original Mini. But yeah, the thing is, and I made that video because I stand by my opinion, which is I do think it was a strange route to go. However, I was going to get it because, as I say in that video, mini consoles are my crack. They are my weakness, and I'm a completionist. So with all the mini consoles that I have a playlist for them if you want to see overviews of them. I had to get it. Plus it's going to have Mega CD games on it, which I think was the selling point for most people. Anyway, I will show you the box. As far as I can tell, this is pretty much accurate to what original Mega Drive Model 2 box would look like, only I never got one with mine. 53 classic games plus 7 bonus titles. Sega Mega Drive Mini to Mega Drive 2 logo there, and the console and the 6-button pad. You only get one pad with it this time, but it is a 6-button pad. And then it says on the back 12 classic titles, 12 Mega CD classic titles, 41 classic titles, and 7 bonus original titles, which to me seems a bit odd. I don't understand this. Is it unreleased stuff? Is it stuff they just cobbled together for this now? Because we had Darius on the previous console, didn't we? So I don't honestly know. There is the game list if you would like to read it. So I guess the fact that there are essentially 60 games on here may justify the cost more over the original, because I believe the original console was 69. I want to say £69. Look at what they go for brand new on Amazon now. It's insane. The same with the SNES Mini. That's gone up through the roof. But yeah, so apparently it's got to be better hardware, more powerful hardware. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Because this was, and it's an Amazon exclusive, and apparently, because you could buy the original one on Amazon, which is where I got mine. You could buy it in stores, supermarkets, you know, anywhere and everywhere. Whereas this is an exclusive to Amazon, which, to be fair, the PC Engine, systems, the Core Graphics PC Engine Mini and the TurboGrafx Mini are all exclusives to Amazon anyway. Well, at least in this country, you could only get the Core Graphics. But the point is, that's nothing new. But supposedly, there are only 10% of the numbers of this that there were for the original Mega Drive Mini. So I don't know, they're not expecting the demand to be that much higher. I find that a bit odd. Anyway, let's get a look inside the box. I do like this. To be fair, all these minis have been pretty well packaged. It was only the PlayStation Mini that wasn't, but we all know what a colossal balls up that was. Let's have a look inside the box. Again, I really wasn't expecting it to be this small. What do we have in the box? Right, so we have a USB power lead. Got those coming out the wazoo. Do not have a power brick in this. We weren't expecting a power brick. Hell, they wouldn't fit it in the box. But it would have been nice to get, with all these consoles, a branded power brick. I know you can run them off everything. Hell, when I run them, I just plug it in the back of my Wii. But yeah, a branded power brick for these things would be nice. HDMI console, obviously it's only going to be 720p. YouTube doesn't even accept 720p as HD anymore. It is very limited packaging. There is nothing to separate the console. I mean, they're bagged up in that kind of polystyrene foam filling sort of material, but they are bagged up so they're not going to get scratched. But there's no piece of card or anything like that separating them from each other, the pad and the manual, and there are no instructions. To be fair, you don't really need instructions. Now, I don't have an original 6-button SEGA pad to do a comparison with this to see how it feels, because the original Minis pads were absolutely bang on. They were really, really bang on. Felt absolutely fantastic. I think there was a tiny, hardly noticeable size difference. But yeah, I do have a couple of unofficial Genesis 6-button pads, but obviously that would not be fair to do a comparison to this. But it feels really nice. The buttons feel really, really nice, as does the D-pad. Not too stiff, not too spongy, a decent amount of travel. We only have one shoulder button, so obviously that does something. Again, I never had a 6-button or official SEGA pad. I had one that had 2 shoulder buttons, so don't know what the deal is with that. But it feels really nice and it looks really, really nice. If anyone has got one of these and has done an unboxing or has just done a gameplay or played it for a while, I mean, as I make this video, it is out today, and I think that is a global thing. Don't quote me on that, and obviously there'll be people who've been sent review copies, but how close is this to a 6-button pad? I'm going to assume it feels very, very nice. That it's a pretty dandy job, because as I said, the pads on the original Megadrive Mini were absolutely fantastic. So anyway, now this doesn't come with a Tower of Power, whatever that stack was, but this does come with a Mega CD Model 2, because obviously when they released this, they released a Model 2 for the Mega CD that would fit onto this. You could also use it with the Model 1, but wow, that is small. Again, no size jokes. And the cartridge slot, well, you would hope it would, wouldn't you? You can't set those standards and not do it. But yeah, you could connect your Model 2 so your Model 1 Mega Drive to a Model 2 CD. It was an open tray. You all know this, obviously. You're all SEGA fans and Mega Drive fans and Genesis fans. So yeah, it would work with that. Well, you could get a little one of those that would clip onto the side to this, because it also has a completely redundant and pointless, but for authenticity and accuracy, expansion port, and it would sit on the side and it would actually have a Sonic CD disc that would go in it. That's interesting. But obviously, you know, there are going to be some additions made to it. Let's have a quick look at how it compares to an actual Model 2 Mega Drive. Look at that. I know the size difference was pretty colossal for the first one, but that is even bigger a difference in size. Looks absolutely bang on. Apart from this switch here, which is why I said there would be some differences, is a sliding switch. That would be the power one. On the back you have your USB input and your HD out. On the front you have 2 USB sockets for your pads. Only comes with one, but obviously you can buy it, and a whole bunch of the retro stuff does work with it, including the retro bit stuff that I have as well. Also works with it, because that's what I use on all my mini consoles to keep the main pads pristine and lovely. I do wish well, I mean, it was a standard 9-pin plug, wasn't it? So, I mean, doing something like Sony did is kind of by the way, but I don't know, it's just you know, like the nerd in me, that would have been cool if you made it look like that. But then, that's a small point to complain about. How does it compare to a PC Engine Core Graphics Mini? Pretty much the same size. In fact, I think they're actually identical size. The girth, word of the day, is probably different, but it's irrelevant, because obviously this is nothing to do with this. I just wanted to show you how well its size compared to, until now, the previous smallest mini console that we have had out there. And that's like me, you also bought the TurboGrafx 16 one, which was a beast. Anyway, all in all, it really, all in all, I should say, it really does, you know, it really does look the part, and it is tiny and ickle, which would be why they got away with making the box like this so small. Small pet peeve, but it's just me on the fact that I keep all my boxes and I store these things in boxes when I don't use them. I would have liked a piece of card to separate it You know, I know it's in these from its pad, but that's just a small pet peeve that I had to get out there. So anyway, I'm going to take this into the other room. I'm going to fire this up. I'm going to be very, very interested to see how the menu works, how they just stuck with it, because if it's not broke, don't fix it. Or have they tried something a little bit different, because obviously they raised the bull when they did their interface for the PC Engine Mini. So upon booting it up, it comes straight to a screen where you select the language you want it to be in. So it's actually got English checked as a default, so I just went straight ahead and tried that, and it comes up with what you will recognise as the UK Megadrive logo in the middle at the top of the screen. However, like the previous one, if you select a different language, it will change the way that at the top middle of the screen looks. So I did manage to set it to Genesis, and obviously you can set it to Japanese Mega Drive, so therefore that means you, based on the last Mega Drive, because this is just a quick overview, the last Mega Drive Mini, you should be able to get the ROMs according to how they appeared within that country, i.e. minor differences. I've got the 6-button pad plugged in. I have no idea what right shoulder does, so anyone who had a 6-button genuine pad, because I mean it was released for Street Fighter, wasn't it, I believe, but didn't become packaged with this. Again, Mega Drive 2 is a little bit after my time when it comes to Mega Drive ownership. Anyway, so A, B and C are how you do your selections, but we have a quick look around. It is different music. I do like that. So we have Bonanza Brothers. Just have a quick look through so you can see them, because you can sort the games as you would like. There we go. Obviously, quite a large chunk of these I have on my True Blue mini stick, but 60 is a decent chunk for a default setting on the system. If we press B, oh hang on, no, it tells you at the top of the screen, Dave, duh, right. You can do it by number of players, cool, that's a nice touch. CDs first, so this is our selection of CD games, which I imagine is the main reason that people have bought it. So we have a Lester, Sewer Shark, I can kind of see why that's on there. Shining Force CD, Sylphied, Sonic CD, my favourite Mega CD game of all time. Night Trap, Night Striker, got that on there, that's an absolute no-brainer. And as for these two, I've never actually played them, so B would be backwards. And then we've got CDs first, still, but oh no, B means you can go to spines. So yeah, do you know what? I'm liking this a lot. But obviously that's showing the spines for, and we have recently played, recently release date for whatever, oh, alright, chill, whatever, you know, searching category you set it to. Then if you select spines, you will see it for that. So obviously you're not going to see 60 odd games in there. We're only going to try a few games to see how they work. But yeah, do you know what? The menu is really nice. It's a little bit different, but not too different from what was in the original Mega Drive Mini. So I guess it is a question of, if it's not broke, don't fix it. They haven't got that whole, well, we haven't fired up a CD game yet, have we? Haven't got that whole, you know, recently played, CDs first, number of players, genre, there we go. So we haven't got that whole, you know, whether a game gets selected, it will go into the cartridge slot of the machine. But then that could be to do with the fact that obviously that's, you know, they did that for Konami. Konami would probably be pissed if they did that on this. And also, there is no cartridge slot anywhere on this screen. Sorry, I'm waffling. Right, anyway, so let's get back to... Oh, there we go, settings. Right, game settings, because obviously, being a normal person, screen settings, we want that, and then back, and then wallpaper settings. Thank you. So there's a load more wallpaper settings. Holy cow. Yeah, why you would want a wallpaper setting is beyond me, but taste is subjective, so maybe you would like it. There are some returning, I don't like to say the words favourites, but then maybe people really liked it. That's kind of cool. I do like that. Anyway, we're going with that because we don't like backgrounds. What's in sound settings? Ah! Okay, that's cool. So therefore, does that mean it does recognise whatever audio chips or however they did the sound in the Megadrive Mini 2, it was, I don't want to say inferior, although that's generally how it's considered. It was different, so they've given you the... See, that to me is it's a nice touch. It's a very nice touch, but it's almost a recognition of the fact that you done fucked up the sound in that one. Anyway, back. Sound settings, mode button setting, what's that? Quick open, hold for 1 second. No, we're good, we're good. Right, so, you said, oh yeah. I did do that out of curiosity. It takes forever. So don't, you know, lose your nerve and try and unplug it. Please read this before playing. Tells you you're going to have a fit and stuff like that. Back. Right, so. How do I... Not like that. Can't remember how to get the game settings. There we go. Hello. Right. Yeah. Right. So. Yeah. So it's exactly as it was before. Different music, slightly different looking layout, but essentially the same. Oh, sorry, my bad. But yeah, they've not tried to one-up, like I said, the PC Engine version, which I guess you would expect. So anyway, we got Midnight Resistance, Night Striker, Night Trap, Outrun, Fantasy Star 2, Robo LS, Ristar, Ranger X, Rainbow Islands Extra, Populous, Sewer Shark, Shadow Dancer, The Secret of Shinobi, Shining Force CD, Shining Force 2. I know people are going to be absolutely shitting their pants over that one being included. Shining in the Darkness, Space Area 2, Sonic the Hedgehog CD, Sonic 3D Flicky's Island, Soleil, Sylphied, Splatterhouse 2, Star Mobile, Super Hang-On, and The Use, The Revenge of... Really? That wasn't in the first one? See, I can't really remember because I got my True Blue Mini. Anyway, right. Umeni, Mystery Mansion, Warsong, Vectorman 2, Truxton, Thunder Force 4, Bonanza Brothers, Gleam Fighter, DV and Pi, Fantasy Zone, Fatal Fury 2, Outrunners, Herzog 2, Golden Axe 2, Game Ground, Final Fight CD, Rolling Thunder 2, Spatter, Streets of Rage 3, Super Locomotive, Street Fighter 2, The New Challengers, Puyo Sun, VRE. Oh, there is a... No, that's not... That's a... We'll have a look at that. Let's have a look at that. SEGA Virtual Processor Chip. Anyway, Viewpoint, Toe Jam and All, The Ninja Warriors. Oh no. We'll have a look at one CD game, one Megadrive game. And we'll have a look at Virtual Racing. But first, I'm going to have a look at Super Street Fighter 2, The New Challengers. I have an original cartridge of this. Just thought I'd tell you that. So yeah, you get your menu again, which gives you a little brief breakdown of the game. It seems to be a bit more spread over the screen. It's using the art style down the left hand side, which is what they used after they went away from the silver Mega Drive logo, which I never liked. And also they did the same when they went away from the silver Genesis logo, only theirs was red down the side. Game start. Skip, skip, skip. Skip to the end. I'm assuming you're automatically set up for, well, I guess we'll map it. This is my favourite Street Fighter. Super Torrent option. Hang on. Pad does feel nice. Yay! I like that. We are set up as normal. Back. Skip, skip, skip. Skip to the end. The end? Yeah. It's a new word. I just invented it. Spent so much of my time on this with my mates. Winner stays on. And I don't mean when I had the Super Famicom version. Also I had this and the Mega Drive. That's all good. I wouldn't have set them up like that. Yoink! It looks really nice. It looks really, really, really nice. Someone out in your life. This pad is lovely. I'm trying to do a Dragon Punch. This pad is really, really nice. Nice and solid. I don't think there's too much input lag. It doesn't feel like it. But yeah, I really like the image. So that you like. Why? Can't I do a dragon punch? There we go. How do you exit? No. Right, that's what the right button is for. I'm a twat. There you go. Game reset, return to main menu. That's nice. There was a way to do it on the previous console, but it wasn't designated to a button, was it? So, return to game menu. Yes, I believe such. Right, I guess we'll have a look at Ninja Warriors, because obviously it was exclusive. Was it exclusive to Japan? I want to say it was. Right, plays 2 android ninjas on a mission to assassinate an evil dictator. Because then obviously it was on the SNES, but there was a version on the PC Engine. I have gameplays of both. So we should expect tit-tastic music. Alright, come on, in your own time. Never played this for emulation or anything. To be fair, that's what this is though, isn't it? Emulation, I am aware of that. Game start. Alright. So, it's kept the loading times. To be fair, so do the PC Engine. Listen to that! I haven't watched any other reviews and stuff like that, so if there is lag, well, this is the second game I'm playing, I have not felt it, but I don't know if other people have picked it up. So, like I said, I've genuinely tried to stay away from other people's reviews. Oh, that music is just amazeballs. Listen to it. Oh, I'm liking this. I'm liking it a lot. To be fair, I bought this from Mega CD Games. Right, so, right button. Like that a lot. Return to menu. I'm not obviously going to do anything like Sewer Shark or Night Trap because it's FMV. And I'll probably get a strike. But, let's have a look at this. I mean, to be fair, my Wii can emulate this, so I can't see that this would be, even though it had additional hardware, would be difficult to emulate. But this was mind-blowing when it first came out, and I am kind of glad that they included it. It's a shame we never got any other stuff with the chip, though, isn't it, eh? Should have got a free run. Right. It looks really nice. The screen is really nice. I mean, it looked really nice on the other one. So I don't know why I'm surprised that this looks really nice, but... There's a little line, bottom left hand corner. Can you see it? Ooh. It seems to be gone now we're in the game. I mean, again, at the end of the day, this is not original hardware emulating. But this seems... Whoa! That's how the game played, mine, to be fair. This seems to be running alright. Bit of a mess in HD, innit? I want to say I don't know if that looks right. Yoink. Oh well. Time will tell. See what other people say. This is just a quick overview of my first impressions. Well, wasn't this like £100 when it came out? Anyway, a couple more games and then we'll round up. Final Fight CD, it's got to be, hasn't it? There we go. My brother actually had that. I can remember that cover. Because he had a Model 1 Mega CD. Was that £200? How much was that in the UK when it came out? I don't know, I'm waffling bollocks, but it's my channel. You kind of expected that, didn't you, to be fair? I've played this before, but I played it on a Pi. Original arcade. Yeah, so this is a really decent port, but the Megadrive could kind of have done it. It's the colours, isn't it? And they just used a CD for intros and music. My understanding. Alright. But then we were all just happy to get. Because it was kind of previewed to come out on here first, wasn't it? And then it didn't. That looks a bit rough. But then I can't compare this to... Oh. Wow, no, it's in the colours. Again, that's the palette of the Megadrive, isn't it? I mean, your brain, when you haven't played Tekken in a while, fills in the gaps, but yeah. I know it's got a limited palette, but I don't remember the colours being that rough on this. And then I might have played a lot of it on main. Not really noticing any input lag still though. Yeah, it's some of that. That noise he's making is because his jeans are too fucking tight. And you'd make that noise too. If your scrotum was shorn up to your neck like that. Right. Well, that's a little bit of screen tearage. Something feels a bit off about this. That might just be me. But something feels a little bit off about this. Right, let's have a look at one more game. Yoink. Do like that feature. Do like that feature. Right, what should we have a look at? Let's have a look at another fighter then to see. Maybe 2 more games. A fighter and a shooter. Yeah, we'll go with that. Streets of Rage 3. I wonder then if you set... I doubt it. If you set this to Japanese, then you get the full uncensored version of it. You know, with the bloke in dressed like Freddie Mercury and assless chaps and shit like that. Well, that was an underwhelming title screen compared to 2 and 1, eh? Thank you. I don't know if it's because I've not played this, and maybe Final Fight in HD that it looks rough. But it might just be me. Right, go on, skip to the end. Yeah, that was close. Been ages since I played this. See, I've always preferred the first Street of Rage the most. That's just me. I know people say 2 is the best. Yeah, because some of that in your life. Seems to be alright. Maybe it was just Final Fight. Maybe I should get a white stick. Maybe, I don't know, my brain's uncertain shit. It wasn't there. You got as many devices as me when it comes to emulation. It does that. That and getting old. Right, one more game. Fighter. Saved your ass there, Axel. You're welcome. Turn to the main menu. Yes. What shoot 'em ups are on there? Did I see Hellfire? I like Hellfire. What was genre? How do we do genre? Alright, maybe just show it off. Actually, yeah, there we go, Hellfire. A game I used to be amazing at, but as an adult I am shite at. Bought my copy on holiday in Boston, in America in 1991. Thought you should know that. Come on. Another game that you always thought was arcade perfect until you did it side by side. I have a comparison of side by side. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Takes a bit of getting used to. Turbos would have been nice. Just saying. Hey, we got on the PC engine, didn't we? Yeah, it takes a little to get used to, but it is a cool mechanic. And that, you're like, oh. And also, talking and playing, this is not my bag. Oh shite, I probably needed that. Right, well, everything seems to run alright. I don't know what it was. Final Fight looked a little bit off to me, but I don't know. Maybe I should play around with the settings. Maybe I should get a white stick. Something about the colours doesn't seem to pop quite as well as it did on the original Mega Drive Mini. But let's round up. Is the Mega Drive Mini 2 for you? Is it worth purchasing if you bought the original one? Well, that depends pretty much on what you get out of the original Mega Drive Mini, or what you did with it, I should say. Also, is it worth 30 quid more? I don't know what's inside this. I don't know if it's got to have something else with a bit more grunts because it's got Mega CD games on there. I honestly don't know. Also, I forgot to say at the start of this video, which is before anyone says, well, we can get a Raspberry Pi, we can do emulation down this route, that route, this route, whatever. I don't care. Emulation devices like this, these plug and plays, not only do they fill a niche market, you know, they are for people, they're like gifts and things like that. I've said this many times before. They're like someone's, you know, spouse, partner buying them this to, you know, give them a blast of nostalgia, remind them of their child and things like that. The fact that it's all in there and all done for you and you literally plug and play it is why certain people only buy minis. I know Raspberry Pis, you know, and there are a million other emulation devices out there. I mean, look at the sheer amount of knockoff Chinese tap that I have, but that's not for everyone. And while you may think, really a Raspberry Pi, that might be above people's tech levels and tech skills. So there is definitely a market for this. I liked it. I kind of wish they went a little bit more, you know, the menu is essentially more of the same, just a little bit more polished. I kind of wish they did a little bit more like they did with the PC Engine Mini, because obviously it's M2 as I mentioned at the start of this video, but then I guess the hands may have been tied with stuff like that. So that still wins the best sort of, you know, menu and interaction on a Mini that I've had to date, because there's just so much attention to detail and love in that. But this is not a bad place to be. This is certainly not a bad place to be. You can play it in Mega Drive mode, you can play it in Genesis mode. This was just a quick overview, so I'm going to have to have a bit of a bigger play around with it, and I certainly want to run some games on this that are actually on my Mega Drive Mini 1 side by side to see how they compare, because this was alright. This was really nice. I didn't feel any input lag. I like the fact that there were more screensavers. I wouldn't use them. I don't like them. But giving you more, not just including what was with the original machine, is kind of cool. I like the fact that they gave you 2 sound modes, even though you could argue that one of them is slightly emitting, that the sound on the Mega Drive Model 2 was not as good as the Model 1. But then, you know, if that is the case, then they should have given us 2 sound modes, shouldn't they? They should have given us 2. I mean, even if it is not as good, it's nice that it's in there for sheer attention to detail and accuracy. The machine itself is really nice. The pad is also really nice. I like the right shoulder button, so you can jump out of any game. That was really kind of nice. It's cool, you know, convenient, I would say, convenient. The lead, I forgot to mention on that, the lead is really long, stuff like that. They seem to have learned a lesson from the first time around. Not that it was terribly short, because it wasn't terribly short. Should you buy this? As I said, I wish they did another console. I really did, but I was going to buy this anyway because minis are my crack, and I was going to buy it for the Mega CD games that are on there. As I mentioned in the gameplay, I've obviously been able to emulate some of them, but I just like the fact that it's on a Sega little console like this. Should you buy it? If you've got the original one, if you don't have anything else that you can do emulation on, you've got the original one, and you want, you know, you want some more games, you want to play Mega CD games, then I definitely recommend it. I'm not a massive fan of it being 30-25 quid more expensive than the original one, but then obviously there are more games on it. If, however, unless you're a complete, you know, completionist like me when it comes to these sort of things, and they are your crack as well, if you had a true blue mini stick for the original Mega Drive Mini, then there isn't really any purpose buying this. There are a few games on here that are not on that stick, but I would not say that you could justify the price difference and, you know, and chucking out £104 on a device for a handful of games. Granted, Mega CD games, and granted, Virtua Racing, with the SVP chip emulation, whatever is on there. But I cannot justify over the original Mega Drive Mini or the price if your original, if you have a true blue mini. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. For everyone else who loved the original console, loves mini consoles, loves Sega, loves Mega CD, then I would recommend it. Still think the price is just a little bit too high. Anyway, as always, this was just a really quick overview, cheapest chips, as you know me, but I'd love to know what you think, especially if you have this, and why did you buy it? Did you own the original? Is your original factory? And if so, then yeah, what do you think of this? And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later.